In today's video, I'm going to share with you my SmallRig cage and setup for the Sony FX3. So if you're a content creator or filmmaker, hopefully this video will be helpful for you. Let's get into it. All right, let's kick it off. So this particular setup was thanks to SmallRig. They reached out to me a couple of weeks back and said, hey, would you like to check out some of our gear for your Sony FX3? And I said, I've already got some of your gear for the Sony FX3, but not the full setup that you see right now. Some of these parts I already own, and some of them were provided for this particular video. And after using them for a little while now, I can see how much more practical this is for filmmaking, how much more confidence it gives you holding onto two handles as opposed to one. Now, you don't necessarily need to build up a Sony FX3, especially if you're just doing tripod work, but you're doing any type of handheld run and gun, these handles are invaluable. Sure, it may weigh it down just a little bit more than normal, but it gives you many more mounting options when it comes to accessories, including microphones and wireless packs. The side handles is where it's at. Not only does it give you the option for cold shoe mounts on the top of either, it just allows you to get a really great grip on this. So if you're working behind the camera, it's far easier to tilt and pan left and right with two side handles as opposed to just holding the camera like this, which is still very comfortable. But one of the biggest criticisms I have of the Sony FX3 are the lack of mounting points once you attach the top handle. A huge flaw with this top handle as well is the fact that it doesn't actually give you any cold shoe mounts unless, of course, you go for one of these. This is the SmallRig Sony FX3 handle extension rig MD3490, and this gives us far more mounting points that we can screw directly onto the top of the handle, which was the biggest criticism I have of it. How can it not have a cold shoe mount? But anyway, once you get this, you're good to go as you get the mount on the back. So if you want to attach something like a Rode Wireless Go or Saramonic Blink 500 Pro or any other number of wireless devices, you finally have the option thanks to this extension handle. First up, let's talk about the SmallRig cage. This is part number 3277 and it retails for $99 US. This doesn't come with the handle, it's just the part around the body. One of the benefits of this though is it has two mounting points, one on the bottom under here and one on the top right-hand side if you're behind the camera here on the grip. This fills you with far more confidence to mount other things onto it, knowing that the actual cage is secure. One mounting point, I wouldn't feel too comfortable about that, but two mounting points, you know it's not going to come loose. This Rode Wireless Go is mounted directly to the cold shoe that's included in the cage. So you can mount anything you like on this. If you're not using an external monitor like I am up here, you can mount a microphone like this onto that particular portion. It's up to you. It gives you a lot of flexibility depending on your needs. Now, if I take this off, you'll be able to see just how much smaller and compact the entire thing is already, as well as lighter. Now, just for the sake of this demonstration, I don't have the battery attached to the external monitor, but if I did, it would weigh it down even more. So you can get away with a nice compact rig like this, designed for filmmaking. On this side of the cage, I have the universal side handle. This is my favorite wooden handle so far. It feels really, really great. Now, the cool thing about these is, while I've got it set up to use left-handed, you can of course use it on the right side of the cage. It doesn't matter. You can simply just use these Allen keys here to take the unit off and then change the orientation if you want to use it on a righty. But being that I also had a second handle here, I've got this one set up for a righty, which was set initially up as a lefty as well, but I've switched it around so I can hold this with both hands. Now, this side handle here, the universal wooden side handle, is part HSN 2093 and it sells for $79 US at the time of filming. One of the best things about this side handle is the fact you can set it wherever you like in terms of its height. As you can see, I've got it closer to the top right now, so it sits perfectly on the desk. But if I wanted it to be far higher, I could do that as well, thanks to the Allen key option on the side. You can adjust these screws here with the Allen key and move it up or down, just loosen it off a little bit, then tighten them back up. Additionally, we get a cold shoe mount on this side as well, which is awesome. And we get an Allen key that's magnetized inside the actual body here, so you'll never lose this. Once you tighten these up, you can pop the tool back in here like that and you're good to go. Having a cold shoe and some extra thread points on the top really make it easy to mount other things. If you're not into mounting the monitor directly to the top of the camera, you can mount it off to the side. It's up to you how you want to set it up. One of the great things about the Sony FX3 is you get a number of different ways you can mount an external monitor. thanks to this SmallRig setup. One of the parts I purchased before getting the rest of this was this monitor mount. This is part number 2905, and these sell for about $25 at the time of shooting this video. This allows me to put an external monitor on and off very simply. I can also change the angle or the viewing angle of the monitor just by simply unscrewing this a little bit or loosening it and then tilting it back and forwards. I can also quickly detach or attach an external monitor just by using my thumbs, which is far easier than just using a tool all of the time. So I can highly recommend this part, even if you're not interested in getting a cage. I found this to be invaluable, especially if I didn't want to take a full rig like this. And the last piece of this particular puzzle is this little guy over here, this small handle. This is called the SmallRig wooden mini side handle with an ARRI style mount. And this just goes on by using your thumb and finger. You just screw it into the side of the cage wherever you like, and you've got a really secure handle. The orientation on this can either work left or right-handed. If you choose to, you can reverse it to just work on this side. If you want to save a few bucks, you can get a smaller handle and use it on the left side or the right side. That's what's great about these handles. They can work in either situation. Now this also comes with an Allen key in the bottom. I love how these are magnetized in here as well. Just gives you the confidence to know you're not going to lose them as easily. When I totally messed that up, I'll leave that in the video. There we go, it's magnetized in there. You also get a cold shoe mount on the top as well. So if this is the only one that you have and you don't go for the large one, you can of course mount something like a Rode Wireless Go or Saramonic Blink 500, an external microphone, a monitor, or whatever you want over here. So now that I've showed you this entire setup, what I'm going to do now is show you how the top handle can be used using the provided accessory. Now if you love the top handle and you plan on using it all of the time, there's one accessory that you need, and that's this top handle accessory right here. This is the SmallRig Sony FX3 XLR handle extension, part number MD3490. This gives you all these great mounting points to put on an external monitor or whatever it is you so choose. Or of course you can now mount a Rode Wireless Go or any other audio pack using the cold shoe mount on the back. This is a huge oversight on Sony's behalf, not having a cold shoe mount up here. I've owned XLR packs and still own Panasonic ones. They have them on the top. Canon, they have them on the top. Sony, they don't. It's just a massive oversight. So I find this extension handle may be the most beneficial if you love using this top handle. I don't mind the top handle, it's not bad, but with this, it actually feels far better. You get finger grips underneath that allows you to get a far better grip on the handle itself. And it also gives you all of those mounting points as I explained before. So you can set up an external monitor with this point here or attach another cold shoe mount point if you want to buy another accessory and rig it up this way, which makes it far more functional. When I purchased the FX3, it had already been out for quite some time. And one of the things that shocked me was that it didn't come with any type of HDMI clamp. Most cameras come with one, but not the Sony FX3. You need to buy everything else. Thankfully though, SmallRig have a great clamp. I purchased this one myself. It was $24.90 or USD. I think I paid roughly 45 Australian dollars delivered. But it's a great cable clamp. So if you're going to be doing any type of studio work without a cage and you're hooked up to an external monitor, get one of these. It will just reassure that the cable won't put any pressure on the actual port if it's pulled. When it comes to managing the HDMI cable with the SmallRig cage here, the great news is it does come with a clamp that allows you to mount it onto the front. The only small trade-off with this is you can't use the side handle in this position up the top because it won't physically allow you to click it into the right way. But you do get a HDMI clamp, which makes it cool if you just want to use the cage in the studio without the handle on this side. So yeah, it's a small trade-off, but I'm glad they've included one with the actual cage. Thanks for watching, folks. My name's Shane. A massive thank you to SmallRig for sending out some of these parts for the review. I really appreciate it. If you want to check these parts out and you've got a Sony FX3 or any other number of cameras, I'll leave links below and you can check it out in your part of the world. So the great thing about the Sony FX3 is while it does have mounting points, you can rig it up nice and simply. This cage will make the world of difference. I also think if you've got one of these and you're using it as a studio tool, get one of these. Just save yourself the hassle of doing any type of damage to the HDMI port over a long period of time. If you plan on keeping this camera for a long time, get one of these. It's an absolute no-brainer. I'm gonna have a full review of this coming up very, very soon. I'm piecing it together right now, so if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. I'll catch you soon. See ya.